welcome back to the Avoid the Tyrewall podcast. Today I'm joined by Terry Grant. Terry, do you want to tell us a bit about yourselves?
Yeah, well, I'm a professional stunt driver, have been for many, many years. Travel the world, do movies, do TV shows, and do live events like we're doing here today at Castle Combe.
What memory of stunt driving do you hold most fondly?
There's a couple, actually. A couple of really big stunts that I've done in the past. Largest loop-the-loop, because it was could have been so dangerous if it went wrong. And then moving on from that, recreating the famous barrel roll jump that was done in the Bond movie. I'd done that for Jaguar Land Rover and launched the car. They're two standouts.
And I did see Ken Block driving with you, obviously the late great Ken
Sure,
Block.
yeah.
Do you think he is someone that you will always treasure?
Yeah, we were friends for many, many, many years, 20 years, I guess. So yeah, Ken's was a special person. His family are very special. They've picked up the baton and they're carrying the flag for Ken, and they're doing great things, and they will do great things, all of them. So yeah, it's his memory's in really good hands for sure.
Which stunt that you have performed would you say is the most difficult to prepare for?
Stuff like I'm doing here today is quite easy. That's run of the mill for me now. That's what I do. That's my normal day job. But some of the bigger things, jumps and stuff like that, I have to different mindset when I go into those, and some of them take, like for instance, a barrel roll. That was a 2-year project to get done. So there's a lot of preparation and a lot of different things that we have to prepare for.
How did you get into stunt driving, stunt racing?
Yeah, so I used to be a race car driver back in the day, and I used to mess about pretty much that, and that's what started a career. I was just doing donuts, showing off after a race, and one thing led to another. Someone offered me some money to do a show, and it all kicked off.
How long have you been stunt driving for?
Yeah, well over 20 years now, stunt driving as a profession. So it's been a long time now.
Which movies have you been in doing the driving?
Yeah, so I've been in many movies, all of the big blockbuster stuff. Relevant at the moment, Mission Impossible 7, that's coming out any time soon. So we've done an amazing car chase through Rome. That was a lot of fun. The Bond movie is No Time to Die. So yeah, I've done lots of cool stuff. Hitman's Bodyguard, all the big blockbuster stuff.
Did they shut the roads off in Rome so you could do the car chase?
Yeah, we obviously, whenever we do car chases like that in movies, the roads are shut off, and all of the people in shot are all actors, or most of the time just the pedestrians walking along are proper stunt people. We have to use proper stunt people just walking along the side of the street just in case. So yeah, it's all on lockdown. But when we did film Mission Impossible in Rome, it was COVID as well. Right. So we continued working through COVID. So the city was pretty much in lockdown anyway, which gave us access to places that you wouldn't normally get. And I think we've captured some magic with that one.
So you said you were a racing driver. Did you do anything else before becoming a stunt driver?
Yeah, race driver. Also used to race motocross when I was a schoolboy. So I've always been about crazy stuff and doing cool things, but always in, controlled environments, not going out on the street or a car park and messing around. I've always done it properly, where it's nice and safe.
Yeah, not like in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, definitely not. No.
How many world records do you hold, and what are they for?
Yeah, I hold many. So I think it's something like 26 now. So yeah, they vary from number of donuts while standing on the roof to the largest loop-the-loop in the world. Just recently, I went over to Monza for the Guinness World Record TV show, and I slalomed 10 cars whilst on 2 wheels. So I went up a ramp, and then I had to slalom in between the cars in a set amount of time. That was a lot of fun. I've done it. There was an existing record. I smashed it by 10 or 12 seconds, I think. And then I suggested that I think I could probably do 100. So we're trying to set that up, see if I can slalom 100 cars.
Do you have like a wall in your house, just all the Guinness thingies?
Yeah, in my office, they're not all up on the wall, but yeah, there's a majority of them are around the wall. I just get lazy. Some of them are just sitting in boxes.
What film that you've been in would you say was the best film?
It's not really about the film. It's about the people I work with. to be honest. And I do lots of Tom Cruise movies. I love working with him and his production team, and the stunt coordinator is fantastic. He's so easy to work with. But to be honest, in the film work, everybody, it's always the same bunch of guys, same bunch of drivers normally, various different stunt coordinators, but they've all been around for a long time. I've known them all for a long time. So I haven't really got a favourite. It's all about the people that you work with.
Do you know like Abby Eaton, because she stunt drives as well? So do you know her?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've known Abby since she was probably about 3 or 4. I used to race with her father, believe it or not. So yeah, I've known Abby for a long time. She's a character for sure.
I met her and was a bit starstruck.
Really?
At Alton Park.
Abby. Yeah, Abby's lovely.
Do you participate in any other racing series?
No, not really. Well, say no. I set up an event each year, Race of Champions.
Oh yeah.
So I design the course, and then I test the course and set it all up, and then test the cars.
Yeah.
And then when all the drivers come in, show them and help train them and show them all the sneaky little bits that will make them go quicker around the track. So I get involved with that every year. I enjoy doing that. It's good fun.
Is this like Race Champions like Michael Schumacher's done?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, Mick I've known for Michael and the whole family. I've been friends with him for many years. So, yeah, it's good. Actually, Mick will be over at Goodwood, so I'll see him in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I really want to go to Goodwood.
Yeah, Goodwood's a great
event. Do you have any plans to do any more films?
Yeah, all the time, as and when I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course, we'll start filming Mission Impossible 8 soon. So that's on the cards. We'll start on Bond again soon, I guess. That's been a few years now since it's been released. So normally it's every 4 years. It may be a little bit longer, but yeah, stuff comes up all the time.
Have they got a new Bond yet? Because Idris Elba was in the cards, but I think Idris Elba would be a better villain.
Oh, I know exactly who it is, but I can't tell you. No, I don't.
Trying to get the intel.
I won't know until I read the script, until we rock up. Yeah.
How did the loop stunt? How did it come about?
Yeah, I mean, that's like when I was a kid. I used to play with Hot Wheels, so that was the initial. And then the first time I ever started doing the loop was for a travelling show for Top Gear. So Top Gear Live back in 2009, 2010, something like that. We decided to build the loop, and then I done it all around the world with the boys. We travelled, we done lots of shows. So that was the first one, and then it moved on to bigger. Then I was involved with the Hot Wheels double loop there that happened in LA for the X Games. So I went over and was involved in that, trained the drivers, watched them do that. And then a few years later, Jaguar come to me and said, look, we want to go even bigger again and do the biggest one ever. Are you up for doing it? So, yeah, I think they got me just because I had just so much experience of doing it.
What speed? Because obviously, you go upside down, so you need a lot of speed. What speed did you carry doing it, do you know?
Yeah, so obviously it's all about speed, it's physics.
Yeah.
So I had to be at the bottom of the loop, 80 miles an hour. This is the big loop, by the way, so this is 7 stories high. And that was just under 9G hit when I hit the loop. But then upside down, we was going for 0G, and the tyres were just coming off of the track. And I was down to 14 miles an hour when I was upside down, so 1.4. So it was literally, about to drop. But the forward momentum obviously carried me on through, and then I picked the speed up again and come out of it successfully.
Don't think my GCSE physics covered this.
Yeah, it's all about, you can't trick physics. Physics is physics, so you just have to believe in it and stick with it.
How did you prepare for that mentally? Because obviously, it's very risky.
Yeah, kind of. If I do any of the big stunts like that, I can just switch off and get myself in a special place and go through it. So I'm not reckless. I'm very clever at what I do, and if I can't do something, I'll say no, I can't do it. It's as simple as that. So you just got to, like everything, you've got to prepare properly.
Where is your favourite place to perform?
I like live events. So live events like today, where there's a crowd, you get a true reaction.
Yeah.
If you're doing a good job, people will cheer, clap, and laugh and enjoy it. So you can't pretend you've done a good job when you haven't. So I really enjoy doing live events, especially stadiums, some of the big stadiums. The largest crowd I've ever performed for was 500,000 people in Mexico. Wow. So that was in Mexico City a few years ago for Formula One Roadshow. That was just crazy, just because of the number of people that were there.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions?
The Jaguar, the loop, was the car modified in any way?
Yeah, it had to be modified to do the loop. So there was obviously a roll cage, a special seat, all of the safety things in there, and we had to block the suspension out because the G-forces, it would just collapse. All the suspension would collapse. So that's the only thing we modified. Other than that, it was a standard road car.
Again, I mean, you said on the Guinness interview or on the YouTube, if you like, that you're only up there. It takes 3 or 4 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
How do you cope with, or how does the engine cope with the lack of oil at the top of the loop?
Yeah, because it is so quick. It copes with it quite easily. I think we didn't have any failures of mechanical failures at all.
Yeah. When you're looking at your cars, obviously we've just watched you on the track. Is there any specific you look? Say you're looking at changing the TBR. Is there anything specific that you look for?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a vast array of cars, and they all do different things. But as long as obviously rear-wheel drive is a big thing for me. Although I also have four-wheel drive, like i.e. rally spec cars, so I can kind of pretty much do anything in anything.
Right. Okay. Are you just 4 wheels or 2 wheels? I know you do the stunt on 2 wheels.
I mean, when the cars are on 2 wheels, but I can ride a motorbike and do a few tricks. I work with a guy called Lee Bowers. He's my go-to guy when we do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's too risky for me. It's quite easy to break an ankle or something, and I'm going to be out. So there's no need for me to do any of that.
And again, just backtracking to the Jaguar loop, did you plan it all, or did you do a model, if you like, and work out?
No, it was all planned, and then I went to a structural engineer who worked all the physics out for me. And that was it. Then I just went for it.
Amazing.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Avoid the Tyrewall podcast, and thank you to Terry for doing this interview.
You're more than
See you
welcome.
next week. Bye.